Goal setting ceremony. Oh my gosh, this is gonna be amazing. So we have Aislinn, she's about to be hopping on the live, and we're gonna do an amazing coaching session today. So I'm really excited because the way we create anything in our life is from first setting the goal and from first setting the intention of what it is that we desire. If you want to build a house, for example, first you need to draw up plans of what you want that house to look like. You're never going to be able to build your dream home unless first you create a plan. You need an engineer. So that's how we get all of our goals and dreams in life, is first we have to think it up. First we have to visualize it and see it in our mind, and then that's when we can create it in our life. It's also similar to like if you get in your car and you go for a drive. If you don't put any destination in your Apple Maps or Google Maps, I'm an Apple Maps girly, but I know that's controversial. If you don't put a destination in, where are you going to drive to? Nowhere. You're just going to drive around aimlessly, getting nowhere. But if you open up your Apple Maps when you get in the car and you say, you know what, I want to go to this one destination, it's going to take you on a drive. And you're still going to have to press the gas, press the brake, stop at the red lights, go at the green lights, hopefully if you're following the law. But you're going to end up at your destination. So that's why it's so important for us to set goals and decide what it is that we want. So Aislinn and I today, we're going to be covering some goal setting and how to create a vision of your future. We're going to give you journal prompts and time to actually create your goals and your visions. And then we're going to talk about subconscious rewiring. And I'm going to give you, well, Aislinn and I are going to give you like daily practices to do on a daily basis to keep tuning into your vision of the future. I'm going to see if Aislinn is on. Oh, she is. Okay, let me invite her. I don't know how long you've been waiting. Sorry about that. Okay, let's see if you can hop on. So excited. Yay!
Hi.
How are you?
I'm good. It's so funny because I have the Opal app installed, which will it'll block different apps on your phone. And as soon as 6 o'clock hit, my Opal app was like, you shouldn't be in Instagram. And I was like, oh no.
That's so funny. Oh my gosh.
Yeah. But I'm so excited to be here. I'm so excited to do this with you. I'm so excited to share these journal prompts and these different ways of thinking about goal setting with our communities. I think this is going to be just such a beautiful time together.
Yeah, me too. I'm so excited to combine forces because you're such an incredible coach. And I know tonight's going to be super transformative for everyone tuning in and watching the replay. So with that said, do you want to kick us off with like a journal prompt, or maybe even before we get into the journal prompts, like why you think goal setting is so important?
Yeah, well, so I have been an entrepreneur since I was 16 years old. So, like, I kind of grew up in the world of you set goals and then you go after them. And I think that, like, that just kind of like has always been part of my pattern is like this is the time of year that you start to think about like what you want for the next year, and like this is the time of year that you start to like set the like energy and the intentions towards what am I creating in the next year. And I think that for me personally, I don't just do this around this time of year. I actually do a lot of like quarterly kind of like conversations with myself and conversations around like where am I out of alignment, or where am I putting too much focus on things that I don't have control over. So when I think about goal setting, I think the biggest thing is not attaching to a specific timeline of when it has to happen, and not attaching to it has to only happen in this specific way. So I think those are kind of two big things when we're setting goals to just remember is like, sure, you can set a 2025 goal, but also like don't attach to it to where it feels like you have to have it, or like your life isn't gonna like be like good or whatever.
I love that. That's like such a good practical tip for how to detach, because people are always saying like, oh, detach. And it's like, well, no. But I think that like timeline detachment is perfect, because like you could set a goal and you could hit it next week, or you could hit it in 2 years. And either way, you're going to be happy that you hit it. So
Yeah.
I love that advice. And also yeah, just really letting go of that timeline. I think that's
I
huge.
love what you said. I was listening to it before you invited me on. I love what you said about like if you want to build a house, you have to have an architect, and like if you want to build a house, you actually have to have like a vision because we've built two houses now. So we built our first house in 2017, and then our second house we just moved in last year. And it's so funny because like you're not just gonna like if you're building a house, you're not just gonna like walk in and it's done. There's like literally the process of like, oh, they have to like lay a foundation. They have to put in like the boards and then they have to put like plaster on it and then they have to put the windows in. Like it is this process where it's not like you just have the goal of I'm going to live in my dream house and then the next day like you walk in and it's built. You have to go through the process of like the itty bitty little milestones that go along the way.
100%. Yeah, I love that you brought that to the forefront. And that makes me think of like, I know a lot of people here are entrepreneurs and have their own businesses.
Mm-hmm.
How like if you want to manifest your dream business, but you don't have one yet, it's probably going to take some time. Like you said, you have to put up the walls first and the plaster and the drywall and whatever. Like it's the same with business versus if you want to manifest a free cup of coffee, that's going to be a lot quicker timeline, most likely.
Yeah.
So,
There's I told this to one of my clients recently. I was just like she was like talking about like big dreams, like big things that she wanted like for her business. And I was like, let's just play a game. Let's play a game. It shows up tomorrow. You get your seven-figure business tomorrow. That means that you're making around like 80 to 100K months every month. Like that would be like $1 million business a year. Let's just play the game. It shows up tomorrow. Can you even handle it? Like,
mhm.
can you even handle the energetic parts of it? Can you handle the systems parts of it? Can you handle the managing a team part of it? Can you handle like the client complications or like the like having to do all the things that come with the goal that you have? And that's not to scare anyone of like, you can't have that goal. It's more just like, I know we love to be like, oh, I want to manifest it tomorrow, but it's like, can you actually energetically hold what you're asking for tomorrow?
Yes, 100%. And that makes me think of actually one time I was talking to this guy and he was like, "Oh yeah, I manifested, I forget how much it was. It was over $1 million." He was like, "I manifested it super fast and it destroyed my life because I wasn't ready for it."
Yeah.
And so it's like when our goals take time and we're still manifesting, usually it's the universe protecting us and preparing us. Like it's you hiring that assistant and that team and getting those systems set up, like you said, so that then as you grow to 10K months and 20K months, then you're at the 80K months and you're like, I can handle this. So
Yeah,
yeah, I
exactly.
love that.
I saw that you did your vision board today, so I kind of wanted to like touch base on that before we get into like any journaling prompts. Like, how
Yeah.
did it go? How was it? Like, do you have any really cool ones on your board?
Oh, it was amazing. And it was so cool because I do my vision boarding in
Mhm.
Canva. And so I made a copy of last year's vision board and then took off almost everything. But as I was taking it off, I was like, that happened, that happened, that happened. That kind of happened. Not exactly how I thought, but it was just like, oh my gosh, I should make one of these every quarter because these things are happening, even though I don't look at
Mhm.
it every day. So I thought that was really cool. And I put one thing I'm really excited about my vision board for 2025 is I put a couple pictures of horses. I would love to manifest my dream horse or my soulmate horse, but it has to be like so divine and so aligned. So I'm very detached from it. So,
Mhm.
but yeah, that's something that I'm excited about. Have you done your vision board yet for
Yeah,
2025?
I did mine this morning and like same thing. I took last year's board, looked at it, and I was like, oh, yep, 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 yep. Like, or like, oh, that happened, but it was very different than I thought it would be. And so I took that and then I made my 2025. And I feel like it's not quite there yet. I think I need another like glass of wine, 6 p.m., like sit down with my computer, my vision board kind of moment. But one of the things that I did, so if you guys are listening to this and you're wanting to create your vision board, today is a great day to do it. Tomorrow is a great day. Just about any day is a good day to do a vision board. One of the things that I was told that like really helped me with my vision board is to write as if you are receiving the thing. So like, for example, like if I were trying to manifest new clients who are signing on for 6 months at a time, what I would be receiving if a client was signing up with me would be a DM. Like somebody would direct message me and they'd be like, hey, son, like I want to re-sign for another 6 months into Success Accelerator program. So what I did was I went into Instagram. I have two accounts because I've had multiple businesses. I went into Instagram and my personal account, I wrote myself a message to my business account as if I was a client asking to resign. And I took that screenshot and I put it on my vision board. So I know, right? Like it's so fun. So I did that like 4 different times with like different like things and scenarios that I want. But that's a really great way to like train your brain that like it's normal for you to get these DMs. It's normal for you to have that number in your bank account because you're seeing it as if you literally had it up, like pulled up on your phone or literally pulled up like in front of you.
I love that so much. I needed to hear that because now I'm gonna go do it for my method. Like I get an email notification, so I'll just go screenshot one that's happened and just put it on my vision board. So thank you for sharing that. That's
of course
such a good tip.
You're like, let me go write that down.
Like remember for after the call.
Perfect. Well, I think we should probably just get into journaling.
Yeah.
Maybe. Does that sound good?
Do it. Yeah, I love it.
Do you have any ones that you want to bring up for today?
Let me look at our handy dandy Google Doc. Let's see. Maybe we start with the magic wand question. We could just like work our way down the doc. Is that good?
Yeah, that sounds great.
So I'll start off with that one. So, okay, pen to paper. This is your first journal question for your goal setting. Okay, if I could wave a magic wand right now and have anything happen that you want, what would it be? And if you're wanting to manifest success in your business, growing your income, how much money do you want to make in this next year? So once again, like no limits, really like magic wand, anything is possible. How much money do you want to make in this next year? And what would you love to have happen? So I think we'll give you guys like a minute or two.
Mm-hmm. I'm going to add on to that as you guys are journaling. So like, let's just say next year you want to make 6 figures. You want to make $100,000. Like that's your goal. And that's what you're like, if Milana and Aislinn could wave their magic wands and all of a sudden you have anything you want and your amount that you want to make is 100,000. I want you to ask yourself if that is actually the number that you want, or if that's just the safe number that you want. Because if we could wave a magic wand, you could have anything. Would it actually be the number that first came up, or would it be double that, triple that?
Love it.
Take it deeper. Like, let's go.
Yeah. You're so good at that. I love how you coach because it's so unlike anything I've ever heard or seen or experienced.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right, you guys in the chat, like, let us know how the journaling's going.
Yes.
Let
us know. Or like things that pop up that you want to manifest or that you'd love to happen in the next year, or your income amount. Like drop that in the chat too.
Love it. Do you want to move on to the next one?
Yeah, let's do it. Do you want to do this one?
Yeah, I'll do this one. So I want you guys to just kind of like, when you sit down and think of this, I want you to be as descriptive as possible. I want you to imagine that it's a Tuesday in September of 2025. So we are currently sitting in reality. Your butts are in a seat somewhere, or maybe you're driving, or maybe you're doing laundry, or maybe you're like laying in bed or watching Netflix and also listening to this live. You're sitting here in December of 2025. But I want you to sit as if it is Tuesday, September 2025. You've been working towards your goals. You set some really you set some really good goals here, like with us, and maybe like in a couple days, like for New Year's resolutions. You've been doing all of this inner work. You've been like really showing up and embodying. And I want you to describe that day, September of 2025, a random Tuesday in September. I want you to describe that day in detail. So I want you to describe like, how did I wake up this morning? Like, did I have coffee? Did I go to the gym? Did I go outside and look at the sunrise? Did I get on social media? Like, what did I do when I first woke up? What was your first conversation of the day? So like maybe your first conversation of the day was like you were talking to your dog while you were drinking your coffee. You're like could you just wait a couple minutes? Like I need to drink my coffee before we go outside. Like maybe that's the first conversation you had of the day. In this September Tuesday 2025, what like did you have like any like gratitude moments or journaling prompts, or like did you listen to a meditation? Like did you do anything to like start your day kind of slower? Was it a faster paced day? Okay, and now I want you to imagine that you're sitting like in the comfiest place in your house. So maybe that's like in your bedroom, maybe that's at your living room, maybe you have an office and you have a really comfy chair. I want you to like close your eyes and imagine you have your phone in your hand, and I want you to physically feel it. Like I personally, like I'm literally doing this on my phone, so I can't. But like my phone is like kind of like one of those rubber type of cases, and so I know the texture of it, I know the feel of it. I want you to imagine that you're holding your phone in your hand, and you're like, oh, I'm gonna open up my bank account. Like, of course I'm gonna open up my bank account because I do that every day. Like just to be neutral about numbers, I open up my bank account. And I want you to look at the number in that bank account. It is September of 2025. And I want you to say thank you for the numbers that are in that bank account or bank accounts. And I want you to open your eyes, and I want you to think about what was that number? What were those numbers in that account that you were looking at on your phone? So the the prompt for you guys.
Holy. That was good.
Did we visit the future and come back?
I think we did. That is fire, Aislinn. That's
Thanks.
so good.
I'm curious, like, what did you see?
I saw, I
Or what was like your day? Like, how did you start your day out?
okay, I saw myself like waking up with my dog and like meditating first thing in the morning and like visualizing and having like email notifications of like
Mhm.
sales overnight and DMs and messages from people that are saying like, oh my gosh, I just hit this goal. All these crazy things are happening. And then like my morning walk with my dog and um the income one, checking the bank account, that one was good. I don't know how I like visualized it with my eyes open while you're talking, but I was like, oh, that's nice. It's even, it's a little bit higher than the number that I'm manifesting for 2025, but it's interesting because it's like, oh, it's a specific number, so
I
maybe
love
we're
that.
actually time traveling.
I like 100% write down what that number was and then go do the thing that I talked about with like the vision board. Like,
Mm-hmm.
go like make that number somewhere in Canva so that you can see what it actually looks like.
Okay.
I think that'll like kind of like solidify it. But one of the things I love about that particular like exercise is that it really normalizes whatever you're going to see, because
Mm-hmm.
let's like play the game. Maybe you're at like 10K months and you want to go to 30K months. Most likely 10K months and 30K months, you're still going to be like, hopefully you still have your dog. Hopefully you still meditate. Hopefully you still drink water. Hopefully you still go on your walks every day or whatever you guys normally do for your normal routine. I want you to think about like your life as if it like is just like slightly evolving and slightly upgrading from what you're currently living. It's not like this vastly different, like you're a completely different person. There
Mm-hmm.
are going to be like threads that are the same.
I love that you brought that up because I think a lot of times our subconscious blocks us from the future because we think it's going to be so different.
Yeah.
And we're like, well, I like my life. I like my dog and I like my cup of coffee. And we think like, oh my gosh, everything's going to change. But like this exercise is perfect for conditioning your subconscious to see that no, like probably 90% of your reality is going to be the same. It'll just be like this 10% chunk is going to be a lot better of like
Yeah.
your income, your business and whatever things it is that you want to call in. So I love that you're normalizing it.
Yeah, I think that's one of the best things that we can do for our subconscious and like our like body safety and like mind safety is to like make it feel normal to like see those numbers. Make it feel normal to like I go on my walk and my bank account has this in it. Like that's the normal like normalization. I think that's really important.
Yes. Okay, wait. I love what you just said. I've never even heard this before, but I go on my walk and my bank account has this amount in it. We could apply that to like every activity. I go to
Yeah,
sleep and my bank account has this number in it. I drink my cup of coffee and my bank account has this number in it. So
I love that.
everyone.
That
Oh.
might be my new affirmation for like my mantra going into like
Yeah,
2025.
I love it because it's like rooting you into the reality where that amount is reflected in every scenario, not just the one scenario we visualize.
Yeah. Oh my God, I love
Oof,
that.
fire.
All right. Let's talk about energetic shifts today. I think this one's a great one for you to talk on because like you do
Mhm.
so much subconscious reprogramming. Like I think this is like a perfect one for you.
Okay, awesome. Energetic shifts. Let me just look at our doc really quick. Um, okay, so we have a note here. an energetic shift that you can make today is to start choosing things differently. And I love that you added this note about like if you always do lifting, try a yoga class. And if you always get to your inbox first, try reading a book. So this is very Joe Dispenza. You're into Joe Dispenza, right?
I've tried. I need to 2025 is the year that I'm actually going to listen to all of his
Oh,
stuff.
I mean, I thought the way you talk, it's as if you've like read everything by him. So you probably don't even need to. But like one of Joe Dispenza's big things is he says, like, as humans, we fall into these patterns, this program of where we do the exact same thing every day. You wake up, you get out of bed on the same side of the bed, you go to the bathroom, then you take your dog on a walk and you make your cup of coffee, and then you get in the car and you drive to work and you have the same day at work talking to the same people, and then you come home, you cook the same dinner, you watch the same show, you go to bed. Like it's literally every day is a carbon copy of each other. And so if you're never changing anything, how is your life going to change? So we can change our whole life, like change big things in our life by making small changes in our day, like starting today. So that could be like if you never go to a yoga class, go to a yoga class tomorrow. That will completely shift the energy of your whole day. It will change your mindset. It will put you in a whole different reality. And then a way to really be shifting into the reality of your goals is when you think about like that future version of you who in September 2025 has these things acquired in your bank account, in your business. What is different about that person? They might be 90% the same, but they might be 10% different. Do they go to yoga every morning? Do they meditate every morning? Do they say affirmations? Do they do something different in their business? They probably do. So you want to find small things you can start doing now that will change your energy and start and keep shifting you into that reality. So maybe it's spending an extra 10 minutes a day on generating new business ideas or talking to potential clients or something like that. So, Aislinn, I'd love to hear your thoughts on it. If you have anything to add to like making energetic shifts.
Yeah, I love this. I think the first thing I kind of want to do is like bring the psychology pieces into this as well. Like the brain hates inefficiency. So you were talking about like how we like have those patterns where it's like I wake up on the same side of the bed, I go to the bathroom, I like, take my dog out, like get like water, all the things. Like it's the same over and over again because the brain really wants to conserve energy. So change is incredibly inefficient. So
Mm.
it makes sense that we have all these patterns and like we have all these like systems that we've like built over time that keep us in the same. So when we're talking about like making energetic shifts today, maybe like like I do work out and like I love to work out, but I haven't done a yoga class, like an actual yoga class. I've done like deep stretch yoga classes, but not like a flow class, like for probably 6 months or so. I've been doing like lifting like basically every single time I go to the gym. And I was like, okay, I have all these like feelings of what I want 2025 to feel like. I know kind of like where I want to go with my health and my fitness and like how I like move in my body. What would be one shift that I could make today that would be like a a token towards the thing that I want. So the token towards the thing that I want was instead of lifting this morning, I took a yoga class. Like instead of like getting up and having a like specific coffee drink, I chose tea instead. So when we're talking about energetic shifts, it doesn't have to be like this like I'm gonna go run a half marathon today. That's like, probably not gonna happen, but you can choose in a little bit differently than you normally would choose, and it does make a huge energetic shift.
Yeah, I love that. Good for you for going to yoga and
It
also
was
lifting.
hard. It was
That
so hard.
yoga is hard. I rarely go because it's tough. But anyway, that's a belief. I'm proud of you for going to yoga. I'll have to go to yoga soon too.
I literally, so part of the reason why I went was because I noticed in my lifting practice, I just wanted to go do the one exercise I actually liked doing. I didn't want to do the whole hour long, all the lifting that like, the actual programming that I have is like multiple exercises. I just wanted to do like the one exercise. And so I was like, okay, we're not doing this in 2025. Like we're not going to the gym just to do one exercise. So I figured out that I've never left a yoga class before because once you're in a yoga class, like you can't leave. So
Yeah.
like lo and behold, it was a hard class, but I didn't leave.
Yeah.
So I thought about like, who am I going to be in 2025? I'm someone who like does the entire workout. Okay, that means I need to find things that are structured that way.
Mm-hmm. I love that. I'm the same way with my Pilates classes. I used to do like at-home workouts, and I do these videos. As soon as it would get harder, I'd be like, eh, not doing the rest of this video. But you go to a class, you have to stay the whole time. So
Yes, exactly.
yeah.
Um, yeah, let's do a couple more journal prompts. I think these ones will kind of dig some stuff up for people. I also am loving the chat. You guys, thank you so much for coming in and like chatting with us while we're here. We've definitely seen all the comments.
Yes.
Um, if you have not already grabbed a pen and paper, highly, highly recommend. These are going to be some kind of like deeper journal prompts that might bring some like dirt up for you. Like they might bring up some like energetic, like, like kind of vibes. So if that happens, I just want you to like take responsibility for your own emotional well-being. If you need to stop journaling, that's fine. Or if you need to like come back to it, that's also fine. These are just suggestions for journal prompts. They're not like, no one's like making you do this.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Great, great clarifying statement.
yeah. All right. So the first journal prompt I want you guys to ask yourself and write down is, when I'm thinking about 2025 and I'm thinking about my goals, what am I afraid is going to happen if I actually reach all of the goals that I really want? So, what am I afraid is going to happen if I actually reach all the goals that I want?
Love it. This question. This is a
This
good
one hurts.
one, guys. Definitely journal this one.
Yeah.
What are you afraid of? What could go wrong?
Yeah. A lot of times it's going to come back to like root things like, you know, fear of being seen or fear of rejection or fear of like worthiness wound or what are some other ones? What are other core ones?
Afraid that people will judge you, which I see is on your second
I guess it
question.
is.
A big one. People are afraid of like, how's my mom gonna see me or my dad gonna see me when I'm making way more money than them? Or like, what are my friends gonna think? Are they gonna expect me to pay for everything?
Mm-hmm.
And like things like that, like other people's perceptions.
Yeah.
So,
These questions will really uncover some like subconscious beliefs that you might not even recognize you have until the moment you ask yourself these questions. You're like, oh. Like,
yeah.
that's something I believe about myself. Cool. Okay, we're fixing this.
Who put
So,
that in there? What?
let me ask the question again, just in case anyone's like coming on right now. So, what am I afraid is going to happen if I actually reach all the goals that I really want to reach next year?
Such a fire question.
Love it. Okay. So the next question is, who am I afraid will judge me, leave me, or see me differently if I reach whatever the goal is? Who am I afraid is going to judge me, leave me, or see me differently if I reach this goal? That one is tough. That one's so tough because it's interesting who you think like will judge you, and then it's like, but why would I think that?
Mm-hmm.
That one's always interesting for me of just like, well, who's the voice in my head that I think is going to judge me for like reaching this goal or whatever. And I'm like, but why? Like, why would why would I care? But B, why is it that voice? Why would that person judge me? Um, because like, I'll tell you right now, like as I've like scaled and I'm quantum leaped and I've like moved across country and I've built a multi six-figure business and I've retired from my first career, like I've done a lot of crazy, crazy stuff over the past few years. People will judge you and people will leave you and people will see you differently, and also you're gonna be okay. Like that's the that's the core thing we always have to come back to. Like you're gonna be fine. Like
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I guess like what other piece of advice would you have for people with like if people are judging them and leaving them? Like you're gonna be okay. Is there any other wisdom that you'd want to pass on to people with that? Or is that the
hmm.
key thing that like as long as you come back to that, you're good because you're gonna be
I
okay.
mean, definitely come back to like the like I've got me mentality.
Mm,
Like I don't need them to have me. I have me.
mm,
And I had to do some like pretty deep like work around this over the past few years because like I did have people who like I was a wedding photographer for 14 years and then I retired about 2 years ago, which I'm like really proud of. Like I had an amazing career as a wedding photographer and now I coach creatives and entrepreneurs. And I remember like when I was like wanting to retire, like the type of questions that people would ask me were like, pretty judgy, but also like I did have people who saw me differently and people who were close to me. And what I realized was like I know this is like so cheesy, but like I only get this life. Like I only get this body once. I only get this this me once.
Yeah.
So like it's my job in this lifetime to do what I can in this lifetime. So if people are
Mhm.
going to judge me, that's on them. They're going to have to figure out what their version of doing what is meant for them looks like. I have to figure out what my version of it looks like. And my version of it looks like retiring. So I think for me, like coming back to it, I'm going to be okay, but also like coming back to I've got me. Like no
Mhm.
matter what, I have me.
I love that. And that's such a beautiful relationship that you've built with yourself to know that like no matter what happens, I've got me. I don't need these other people outside of me to have me and make me feel okay. Like you're taking deep accountability for your own emotional and mental well-being, and like that will serve you throughout your entire life. So for everyone listening, I think that's the greatest gift you can give yourself in any situation, is to know that you always have yourself and you'll always have your own back.
Yeah.
This is so good, Aislinn.
I love our conversations. They're always just like so powerful. Like I always leave like going
Yeah,
like, oh, I need to go journal. Like
same. Literally same. You're such a bright light. I just like I feel like I always gain so much just from being in your presence.
I love our conversations. If you guys are listening to this, like in the chat in the community, like if you're like liking this like format for like goal setting, you're liking this format for like these types of conversations, you want to see more of our like collaborations, like please let us know in the chat like what you'd like to see because we would love to do more of these and make them like helpful for our communities.
100%. Yeah, I love it. Okay, should we do the next journal question?
Yeah, you want to ask this one?
Sure. Okay. What do I think I will sacrifice to reach this goal? So when you think about your big goal or goals for 2025, what do you think you're going to have to sacrifice to reach that? I think a lot of people think, oh, I'm going to have to sacrifice my free time or time doing what I really love. And I'm going to have to work a lot harder. I'm going to have to sacrifice my sanity. Like, just get it pen to paper. What are you going to have to sacrifice in order to reach your goal?
My clients hate it when I point this out, but usually it's what they think they're gonna have to sacrifice is control.
Mm. So
Like, hi, sorry. Like, you're gonna have to sacrifice knowing exactly how it's gonna work out. You're gonna have to sacrifice knowing like the timeline of it. You're gonna have to sacrifice having control over every little piece part of it. But as you do, and as you like, detach from that, things are gonna like come into your life that are so magical.
yeah. Oh, I love it. I love what Maria's so funny. Just put in the chat. I've been loving all your comments tonight, Maria, but I'm gonna have to sacrifice my thoughts on how hard I have to work. Ugh. I have to sacrifice my thoughts on how hard I have to work.
Like the champagne problems of like, oh no, like I
Yeah.
have to change my thoughts.
Yeah, I was on a coaching call with a one-on-one client recently, and we like worked on some stuff, and I was like, okay, so like, what do you want to work on in your own day to day these next couple days? And she's like, I guess like focusing on being happy. And I was like, dang, gotta focus on being happy. We're so funny as humans. Like, dang it, I'm not gonna work hard anymore.
I literally like I had to treat myself like a house plant this past week because I was just like, you just need water and you need sunlight and you need well, plants don't need movement, but you need movement. Like
Mhm.
seriously, like the problems that I like was like making up in my head, I was like, ma'am, no, we're not going there. Like, and I was just like, go on a walk. So if you have to gentle parent yourself, that's fine too.
Yeah, so true. Because no one else is gonna do it, so we gotta do it.
Yep, exactly. All right. Last question in the journal prompts that we have in this little section is where do I feel guilt or shame around the goals that I have? So, like, whether it's a monetary goal or it's a health goal or it's a fitness or faith or spirituality or like whatever the goal is, like, where do you have either guilt or shame around those things? And a lot of times, guilt and shame just comes from being out of alignment or playing into stories that don't serve you. So, like, if somebody told you to be guilty about money or told you to feel shame about money, and like that's coming up for you as you're setting goals, it's probably because there's like some unalignment between like what you actually want to do in this lifetime and like what you were told you're supposed to do in this lifetime.
Love it. Yeah, that's so important.
Mm-hmm. I love that.
Yeah.
I'm a full-time gentle parent myself. Same. Same.
Well, it's good that you've claimed that role, because most of I mean, everyone needs to do that role, but 99.9% of people ain't doing it.
I love that. I'm going to ask the question again just so you guys get it. So where do I feel guilt or shame around the goals that I have?
Amazing.
Yeah. Cool. What, where are we on the document? We have a Google Doc over here that like we like have put like really cool ideas in. We just want to make sure we get to everything for you.
Yeah, we just have like a few more little points to cover with some good action steps for you guys. Okay.
I love that. One of the people in the comments said, I have to sacrifice my laziness and negative self-talk. So when we are like making new habits and when we are like kind of like energetically shifting into like new skill sets and like new ways of being, like sometimes we're like, oh, we have to sacrifice laziness. We have to sacrifice negative self-talk. And instead of it being like a hard, like 100% self-talk to 0% self-talk, I want you to just like incrementally like adjust the amount of self-talk that you have that isn't as positive as it could be. So instead of being like, I can only ever say nice things to myself, like that's an ultimatum that you're saying to yourself that you're never going to hold yourself to. So like instead, can we like when we hear the negative thought coming up, can we just say like, thanks, I hear you, got it, cool. What's something more generic or something more general that I can say to myself instead of whatever that thought was? So that's a great way to practice instead of it being this all or nothing, like negative to positive. It's like negative to neutral.
I love that. That's huge. Something I will do is shouldn't say if, when I experience a negative belief or negative self-talk and I notice it, because it's hard to even notice it, but if I notice it, I'll say, Milana, maybe that's not true. Maybe, just maybe it's not true. And like that alone, I'll be like, okay, like get over yourself. Let's, like you said, go for a walk or something. So yeah, make it more generic. Don't just keep funneling into that belief. Like when you notice it, just be like, maybe that's not true. And let's change this to like, rather than I'm having the worst day ever, to maybe today's not the best day ever, but tomorrow's probably going to be a little bit better.
Yeah, I love that. Perfect.
Yeah.
You want to move into favorite ways to rewire for big goals?
Yes. Okay, guys. So now that you've dumped all of this trauma,
Sorry.
we're not going to leave you hanging. So the reason we had you journal to uncover these hidden subconscious blocks, these are all subconscious probing questions to find the blocks in your subconscious. The reason we had you do this is so that you can take this as your map to rewire them. And once you rewire them, you become an energetic match to your goals. It becomes way easier for you to take aligned action and actually move in the direction of your goals and have things clicking into place, seeing those synchronicities, your business quantum leaping and growing. So with that, with rewiring, Aislinn and I both have a few different ways that we like to rewire subconscious blocks. We'll share them. I know I know EFT, Aislinn. Yeah. Aislinn, I know you love EFT. We both are EFT girlies. Do you want to show them? I guess we should explain what EFT is first.
Yeah.
But so essentially EFT, it stands for Emotional Freedom Technique Tapping, maybe? Mm-hmm. EFT squared. It's where you tap on acupressure points, you tap on meridians, and this relaxes and soothes your subconscious mind. So it makes your subconscious beliefs very malleable. So what we do is we validate your subconscious with all the things that came up, and then we shift it to focus on what you want to call in instead. So Aislinn, do you want to show them how you like to use EFT?
Yeah, so usually when I'm doing EFT, like I follow along with different practitioners. There's a whole bunch of free content on YouTube around emotional freedom techniques. So like basically you can just put in like the YouTube like search bar EFT and then whatever you're like struggling with or whatever you're wanting. So like maybe it's like EFT client magnet. Like I want to become a client magnet, or EFT resentment towards something. Like there's probably a video on it, so I would definitely recommend like go enjoy the free resources that are out there. There's amazing creators who have free resources. But when I think about EFT, like generally when I use it as two different things. I use it as maintenance, and then I also use it as like problem solving. Like so like chronic versus acute. So like acute is going to be I'm having a meltdown and I need to regulate. Chronic slash like like ongoing maintenance is going to be more like I'm just doing this every single day to like fluff up my energy and to like make my like subconscious feel like like more like prone to actually looking for opportunities, and more like just kind of ignoring the stories that are going on in my head. So I do it in two different ways, but generally you're going to be tapping on a couple different points. So it's going to be right here between the eyebrows, and then we're going to go to the side of the eye, and then underneath the cheek. And then there's a lot of different practitioners who do this different ways, but the way I personally like to do it is collarbone. So I go to collarbone and then squeeze your wrist, and then you're going to do some kind of bilateral stimulation. So usually it's look up, look down, look left, look right. And you're taking like all deep breaths during this. So generally with EFT, it's not a one and done kind of thing. It's not like you do it and then you're good forever. It's definitely more of a maintenance kind of thing. So I usually do like 2 to 4 rounds of EFT depending on like what the like subject is. And as you're tapping, some things might pop up for you, or like old memories might pop up, or like new stories might pop up, or you might start to feel so neutral about the thing that you initially were tapping on that like you're like, wait, what was I why did I come to this tapping session? Like why am I here? So I think that's like kind of like the good overview, but like you're an actual EFT practitioner, so I think you have a lot to say on this as well.
I think you just nailed it. I got it done.
Perfect.
That was awesome. I think we should take them through a round of EFT so they can like learn how to do it for themselves. How does that sound?
I love it. Do you want to facilitate?
I'd love
Yay.
to. Okay.
Okay, I'll do it with you.
Okay, perfect. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna tell you to close your eyes and pull up like the main limiting belief that came up with your journaling, or whatever bothers you the most in your journaling. I'm gonna have you sit with it for a moment, taking full accountability for your own well-being. If it's too intense or too much for you, then you don't need to go there. You could just kind of wait while we do this. And then once we do that, I'm gonna say start tapping at the front of your eyebrow, just like Aislinn showed us, and repeat after me. So you're gonna tap right here. I'm gonna say a phrase, and then you're gonna say it back. So Aislinn will say it back, you'll say it with Aislinn. And we're just gonna go through those points. We'll end it with squeezing the wrist, deep breath in, some bilateral stimulation, and then we'll go from there. Does that sound good?
Yeah, so I will be the client. Like, so I will be basically everyone in the audience. You guys follow me pretty much. And then we should be good.
Perfect. Cool. Okay, so go ahead and close down your eyes and take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth when you're ready. And then pulling up whatever bothered you the most in those journal questions. Any feelings of, I'm not going to be able to hit my goals. People are going to judge me. These bad things might happen. I'm going to have to sacrifice parts of myself. Just allowing it to be present. And taking a deep breath in. Exhaling, letting it go. And just relaxing your body, relaxing any tension you feel. And then start tapping at the front of your eyebrow. Repeat after me. Even though I feel this fear.
Even though I feel this fear.
Even though I have all these negative feelings.
Even though I have all these negative feelings.
I still love and accept myself.
I still love and accept myself.
I love myself for feeling these feelings.
I love myself for feeling these feelings.
Side of the eye. It means I'm alive.
It means that I'm alive.
And it means my subconscious mind.
And it means that my subconscious mind
is trying to keep me safe.
Is just trying to keep me safe.
And I'm grateful that I'm trying to stay alive here.
And I'm grateful that I'm trying to stay alive here.
Underneath the eye. But the truth is that this has nothing to do with my present or future reality.
That this has nothing to do with my present or future reality.
It's something that happened in the past.
It's something that happened in the past.
And I'm ready to leave it there.
And I'm ready to leave it there.
Collarbone. I'm fully releasing and letting this go
I'm
now
fully releasing and letting this go now
because I have a big mission.
because I have a big mission. And
And I'm here on earth to live my
I'm here
dreams.
on earth to live my dreams.
2025 is the year that all my dreams come true.
2025 is the year that all my dreams come true.
I'm ready!
I'm ready.
And squeeze your wrist, take a deep breath in. Exhale, let it go. Open your eyes, look to the left, look to the right, look up, look down, clap 3 times. Congratulations, you just did your first round of EFT.
Yay! Let us know how that was in the comments for you guys. Also, I would have screamed that, but we have 3 dogs and they would start howling if I did that. So.
Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh, actually,
I loved that.
Think of how we first connected was on someone else's Zoom call, and I saw your dog, and I was like, your dog is a carbon copy of my dog.
Yeah, and we
we
shared pictures, and I was like, oh my god, they could be litter mates, but they're not. But they're so cute together.
literally, and they're unique looking dogs.
I love that.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Yeah, let us know how you're feeling after that first round of EFT.
Mm-hmm.
Usually people feel lighter, so I'm curious how everyone's experience is.
I do. One of the things, one of the reasons why I love EFT so much is like what we did at the very beginning, where we were doing those journal questions and like really getting like probing at the subconscious and being like, hey, I want to set some goals. Hey, like, well, what's going on? Why can't we achieve these? Being able to poke at the subconscious is going to bring up emotions, which are not bad. Emotions are just neutral. They are just information for us to figure out what we want to do with them. So when we like bring up these emotions and we bring up these different things, EFT lets us clear the emotions that are coming up so that we can actually go take action, so that we can actually go do the thing that we want to do because we've soothed part of our like mind and our subconscious mind and said basically like, hey, I hear you. I love you. Thank you. I'm going to go do this anyway, but I hear you and I'm going to keep you safe and I'm going to go do this thing. So I love that because like, you know, so many people like they want to do affirmations or journaling and it's like, cool. Well, you're just stirring shit up without actually clearing it. So have fun. Like that sounds not fun to me.
Yeah, as you were speaking, it gave me this visual in my head of someone having like a weight tied to their ankle, and EFT is like tap, 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 like sawing off the rope to the weight.
Ooh, I love that.
You no longer have that weight holding you back, and you can actually step forward into your dreams. So I love explained all of that.
Since we've made it this far and you guys are still with us, if you want to do like a really great energetic practice, like right before the new year, if you can find a cord cutting meditation on YouTube and do a cord cutting meditation, I promise you your life will look very different in 2025 because it's exactly the visual that Milana just gave of like sawing off like the heavy weight that like is attached to you. Like that's what cord cutting does like energetically because you're releasing all of these different attachments to things or people or places that like should not be coming with you to your next level.
Love that. Love it. Oof. We're about to have a bunch of fierce warriors at the end of this call.
Yes. Reiki is also amazing too, especially if you can find a practitioner. I've been lucky enough to have Reiki done on me before, and it's amazing.
Oh, that's awesome. I love that.
Cool. Well, we have about 12 more minutes before Instagram kicks us off because it like kicks off at the 60-minute mark. So I think we should definitely talk about like the last 2 points that we have on here. So I'm gonna let you do these because they were your points.
Okay, cool. So I have a note here in my very formal official Google document.
It's a great Google Doc, guys.
So fancy. It's to commit to one daily practice to keep you rooted in the vision of your future. So, and I have a few different here as examples. So visualization, affirmations, scripting, journaling, EFT, those are all examples. There's other things too, but those are kind of like what I think is the key ones. Pick one thing that you'll do every single morning to keep reminding you of your vision of the future. So I really love visualization. Create a visualization in your mind of like a few key scenes you want to happen in your life, like what Aislinn just did with checking your bank account on your phone. Visualize that every single morning, even if it's for 30 seconds. Because if you don't, you're going to keep defaulting to the past person. But if you do, you're going to keep quantum leaping into that future. It's going to end up happening. It is the law of the universe. Like if you keep visualizing something, it's going to eventually happen. So pick one goal to commit to daily, whether it's the visualizing, EFT, journaling, whatever it is, and drop it in the chat and let us know what it is that you're going to commit to.
I encourage you guys to like try the different things. Like I tried scripting to see if I liked it. I tried affirmations to see if I liked it. I tried visualizing to see if I liked it. I don't think like we have to like and like all of these are really wonderful practices. I don't think we always have to like default to one of these. I think it's really good to experiment, and maybe 2025 is like the year that you experiment with like these different practices.
Totally. Or like switch it up every day. Like do a different one each day, but just do something each
Yeah.
day.
Yeah, definitely. So let us know in the chat, like what's one daily practice that you are going to do to revisit your goals. So for me personally, I mean, like I can show you guys, like I have like these like huge whiteboards over here, and normally they have, we're going to try really hard not to, to like tip that over. I try really hard to, I don't try hard. Sorry. I put my affirmations on there. So like my affirmations, I usually like do them like every like month or two. Like I'll put new ones up there to just kind of like keep me like accountable to like the goals that I'm going towards. So I definitely think that, I mean, yes, EFT, like EFT is like my favorite too. I don't really feel like that's for me because it's such like a maintenancey thing. I don't feel like that's such a um like a thing I commit to because it's already something I committed to. But like extra on top of things to commit to, affirmations.
Love it. I love that you have it like visually in your
Mhm.
workspace where in your face and you're like, oh yeah, I am hitting that goal and becoming that person.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Also, I'm a huge fan of sticky notes. So, like on my computer right here, I have morning manifesto, which is my every single morning I open up a Google Doc and it asks myself like a couple different questions and I write down my affirmations on there. Um, Sticky notes are like 10 cents a piece, maybe possibly. I don't even think they're that expensive. Like you can
Yeah.
have sticky notes. Like you don't have to have the ginormous boards that I have in my office. Like sticky notes work beautifully for like reminding you of what you're doing or reminding you of the goals that you
Oh,
have.
100%. Yeah, I started doing that this year and I'll stick it on my bathroom mirror and within a few days I believe it. So
Mhm.
it's like, yeah, whatever you want to believe, put it on that sticky note.
Yeah. I used to do mirror work, which is where you do affirmations, like where you stare at yourself in the mirror. I did that again this morning. It was the first time I'd done it in like years. And I was like, oh God, this is hard. Like, I have to do this. But like, mostly because it just made me so uncomfortable. And it was like, ooh, why am I so uncomfortable being seen by myself?
Mhm.
Like, so I
Mhm.
think that there's beauty in each of these practices. I think it's worthwhile to try all of them.
Yes, I so agree. I so agree. And like after practicing them multiple times, you'll probably find that one works extra well for you. Like I've
Mhm.
found for me, stating affirmations works really well. And there, I guess there's something about like the law of vibration and like my word being vibration casting a spell that just works really well. And like
Yeah.
other people, it might be other things, but you'll probably find like, oh, when I do mirror work, like things happen fast or whatever it is. So
Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I think it's just worth it to like try all the different methods and see like what you enjoy the most, but also like which one do you avoid the most because that's usually the one that you should try again. Like mirror work for me, it's been years since I've done mirror work. Like we've moved a lot since I first started doing mirror work, like literally like four houses, like four apartments and houses since then. And so like I just didn't keep up the practice, but I was thinking this morning, I was like, okay, what are we doing in 2025? And I was like, I just want to be like that like version of myself that like just really leans into the spiritual, really leans into like these practices that I know that I love, that I just like got really judgy about myself for. And I was
oh,
like, let's well, why? Why are we doing this?
I love
Yeah, Louise Hay is amazing. I haven't done the mirror work, but that yeah, their stuff is amazing.
Yeah, I love that. And I love that you're focusing on like creating a well-rounded vision of like who you want to be and what you want your life to look and feel like versus just like one thing.
Yes, I love that.
Yeah.
Um, okay, cool. So what's one way because we have about 7 minutes before Instagram kicks us off. What's one way your goals have happened? Actually, I'm gonna let you do this one because I don't understand your notes. Sorry.
Okay, no, you're good. You've already covered it. So what's one way you know that your goals have happened? So like for Aislinn, I know you said like when you make a sale or something, like you get a
Yes.
DM. So that you know you're having success. That's like a milestone. For me, it's getting an email from like whatever service provider that's like, oh, new client or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And then just visualize that happening. So it could also be like texting your friend that, like, oh, I'm gonna come visit you in your city because my business just like hit my goal and I'm gonna celebrate by coming to book this trip and visit you. Or it could be like maybe you DM me and Aislinn and say, oh my gosh, remember that call last month? Well, I just hit my goal and I just wanted to say thank you. Like, you visualize sending us a DM. So just something specific that signifies that what you want has already happened, and then just visualize that happening. So you can like take that into your daily practice of manifesting, or just take a moment to do it right now to visualize it happening. But yeah, that's what I meant by that
I
note.
love that. I actually was thinking about like visualizing. I heard this somewhere and I can't remember who said it, but like visualizing to the end.
Mm.
So like instead of it being like, oh, I manifested 5 new clients. What you could do is you could like send yourself the Instagram DM as if they are like inquiring with you. But that's not actually the end of what you're manifesting. What you're actually manifesting is the money in your bank account, or you're manifesting the like bank notification that you're going to get in your email from whatever system you're using, like CRM system you're using.
Mm-hmm.
So like the actual thing that you need to be visualizing is not getting the DM of like the person inquiring with you. You need to be visualizing the notification that you just got paid. So
Yes.
like whatever your goal is, can you take it to the end of that goal? So like it might be fitness related where it's like I don't know, like what's a good fitness goal that people have? Like
I
losing weight or whatever.
don't know.
Like it yeah, like so like you know, like it might be like lose 10 pounds. Like that's like the goal or whatever, but like what's the actual like you're standing on the other side of that goal? What are you going to be doing? You're probably going to be eating something like healthy, like a salad, or you might be like you might have like a, if you're running, if you have a running goal, it might be a picture of the treadmill, like with like a certain number on it. Like I ran this amount of like miles in like this amount of time. That might be like taking it to the end of that goal.
Yes, that actually reminds me of when I was manifesting having acne-free skin.
Mm-hmm.
Because even like, I'm trying to remember the timeline. Maybe it was a year ago. I still had bad acne. It was like horrible. Looked like I had some sort of infection on my face.
Oh,
But I, yeah, I would visualize every day that I had perfectly clear skin. Like, I didn't visualize that, like, I don't know. I didn't visualize things along the way. I was like, nope, it's already done. I already have the clear skin. And I ended up manifesting it. So
yeah.
yeah, I have to visualize that end result.
Yeah,
Um,
and that's
okay.
kind of why we took you guys through the September, like 2025, is because like September is far enough away that it's gonna feel like far away, where like you're gonna feel like you're on the other side of that goal if it's in September of next year. If I had made that visualization and been like, okay, we're gonna think about February of 2025, you all would be like, that's tomorrow, ma'am. Like,
Ma'am.
September is a while from now.
Yeah, yeah, it is a while from now. We're gonna be watching Gilmore Girls.
Yes, exactly. I want you to imagine that you're on your couch and Netflix is up and you're watching Gilmore Girls and they've announced that there's going to be a new season and all like the cast is coming back and like you open up your bank account and like your bank account says like the biggest number you've ever seen, but also it's normal at that point because it's September and you've been doing this for a while. Like that's the goal.
I love everything you just said.
I love that. Okay, well, before we get kicked off, this was amazing. I feel like there was just so much information, like so many good like goal setting like things. But are there any like tie it with a bow, like wrap it up kind of things you want to say before we go?
I just want to say, I feel like Dr. Phil. I just want to say in my last words, I know he doesn't have an accent, but no, I just want to say whatever you want is possible.
Mm-hmm.
And when you decide that that's going to be your future and you set the intention, the universe creates a path for it and it's inevitable. So just keep reminding yourself that your dreams are not only available, but they are on their way to you.
I love
So, what about you?
that.
What do you have?
I mean, that just kind of reminds me of like my success is inevitable is like such a beautiful affirmation. And it kind of has the like, I've got my own back kind of energy.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, if you need an affirmation to like plug into for 2025, instead of choosing a word for next year, what if it's just my success is inevitable? It's going to happen for me.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it just is.
I love
I think, and the final thing I think, like, just like saying is like, it's a decision. At any point, you get to decide. So today is a good day to decide, but at any point, you get to decide.
Yes, 100%. Amazing.
Perfect. This is so good. It was so good to see you. Thank you guys so much for being here. This will be on both of our pages, but hopefully we'll do another one soon.
Yeah, 100%. Really quick, before we get kicked off, do you want to share like how people can continue to work with you?
Yeah. So I have Expand Your Mindset membership, which is now open in January, so you guys can join that. I have a couple other things for wedding professionals and creatives in general, but generally, I would say the Expand Your Mindset membership is going to be the place to go.
Amazing. Yeah, guys, Aislin's coaching is off the charts next level, as you can see. Like, she's incredible. So definitely check that out. I also have my Manifest Money community where I'll help you manifest all your goals much, much faster by using our subconscious rewiring techniques. So with that said, much for being here.
It's good to see you. All right, guys, we will see you at the next one of these that we do together.
Sounds great. Love you, Ace.
Love you
Bye.
too. Bye.